Alright guys, so welcome back to another episode of Flying Brian's Garage. I am in the shop now. It's the same day as finishing up the video on the tractor finally running and riding around the yard. I just got the beast up into the shop here on the lift, and I'm going to go ahead and try to get the engine set in place tonight, and then tomorrow come back out here and try to get it bolted down and going. Maybe we can ride this thing tomorrow. It won't be completely done, but it'll be done enough to where I can ride it and see how it's gonna treat me. But y'all see the decals. I decided not to paint this because I really don't have the money, and two, it's just gonna be a toy anyway that kind of gets, you know, roughhoused. So I still got to do welding. I still got to finish, you know, welding up some shit, some braces in there, and all that good shit. But for now, I'm gonna get the engine put on. And here's the rest of the decals here and there. All I did was take some gas and get the adhesive off and clean the hood and then apply the stickers. So I think it looks pretty good, and it's going to look even better once I get a 670 on it. So let's get to it. Alright, so for now I'm going to put the 17.5 on this. Just for now. Because I need to tweak this engine and get it running right. And I don't want to put it on my tractor gear because this is my lawnmower, and you know, I have my own business, so I've got to be able to have my lawnmower. But I did install the 670 in here for now because it's my best running engine. It's something I can depend on, so stuck it in there to mow some lawns. And this was the engine that came off of that unit. I'm going to put this in the beast, get it running right, ride it around a little bit, see how it does, see if it's going to do what I need it to do, and then I will swap this back onto my Troy-Bilt for my lawnmower, and then we will be putting the 670 on the beast and getting it tied up. So for now I'm not going to worry about wiring or an ignition switch or any of that sort of thing. I'm just going to get the engine installed, bolted up with a belt system hooked up, and a throttle. That's all I need for now. We'll worry about everything else later when I put the 670 on. But for now, let's get to the 17.5, get that thing installed, and hopefully tomorrow we'll get it running. Alright, so got the engine kind of sitting up here, about to drop it down into place, and I'm probably going to call it a night. And come back at it tomorrow. so. Got our bolts. That seems to already be the proper size. And I need an extension on this guy. Get the gas out of the way so I can move some shit around. Alright, where's my bolt? So that one's not a 9/16. Where's this one at? So this must be 5/8. There's only one that's 9/16, of course. I would find bolts with different size heads. But as long as they have the same size threads, I really don't give a shit. There's one. There's two. Alright. There's number 30. I should have known better. Need to tighten those up before I got them all centered. My dumbass mistake. I think we're all entitled to have them. Get this one started. Damn 9/16. Why don't it want to center up? Maybe it's just a bolt. Let's see. Maybe it's the thread in the block. No, this wants to go in sideways. Why does it want to go in sideways? Stupid. Where this went? That's the rear one. So what's wrong with that one? Thread messed up. Sometimes I'll re-tap it. Oh yeah. Looks like it's a little boogered. I don't think y'all can see that really, but it's a little boogered in there. You know what? I ain't gonna be running it that much. I think I'm just gonna do 3. Because that hole is messed up for now, and I don't know if I'm gonna re-tap it, or I'm just gonna drill it out and run a nut and bolt up through there. Sometimes that's what I do if they're too hollowed out. I'll just drill it out a little bit, put a bolt, and just put a nut on top of it, a little washer. So you can do that if you're having problems with your mountain holes stripping out. It is aluminum, so you know, after time, actually on this tractor not too long ago they did strip out, and it was making an awful noise, and I didn't find out till just a little bit later that the engine was actually loose on it. So what I did was I tried to tighten the bolts into it because I thought they just had come loose, and I had realized no, the holes were stripped out. So luckily they were longer, and I just stuck a nut and a washer on top of them and torqued them down. Tight as ever now, so. Let's see what we got here. That really needs to come off. I don't know if I can put that on there for it to start with. Alright, so let's torque all these down. Where's that third one? Alright. Get out of my damn way. Alright. So engine is mounted in place. Alright, so I went ahead and yanked the wiring out. Changed out the ignition for a 3-wire instead of like a 6-wire because I'm not going to need all that extra shit. Left what I'm going to need, and I'm going to have to add a little to it, but I'm probably going to add it out of this wiring harness itself and just use the wiring that I have and just build my own new wiring harness. But for now I'm not going to do that because I'd have to cut the ends off my engine here, and I don't want to do that because I actually am going to end up putting this back on that tractor. No, not that tractor, the Troy-Bilt, my lawnmower. So I'm going to leave these on and probably doctor up this wiring a little bit, get it ready for the 670. But so far I've got 3 bolts to mount the engine on, which should be enough for now since I'm just going to only be test running it. I've got the upgraded pulley on there, but I can't find the bolt that's going to fit because mine's too long. I've got to find the key for the rear so I can put that belt on, and then put the gas tank in and put some gas in it, and then I should be able to jump start it and fire it up and ride it. Oh yeah, I also got to hook up the throttle. But other than all that, I mean, it's not too much left to do. I'm just kind of having to look for parts, and that's what's taking me so long. So give me a little while longer, and I'm gonna go take me a break, and I'm gonna come back out here and get back to it. Alright, so I could not find a bolt that was long enough for, or short enough for that, because see, the spindle's cut off here, and I don't exactly know where I got this bolt from, but it's too long, because the threads start like right in here. This thing's got like this much that's not threaded, and I can't find one the same thread, not at least yet. So I added some spacers so that would tighten it to the shaft coming down. I need to go ahead and put the rear pulley on. That's what I meant to say was pulley. And there's a bolt that I never did get in. Right up there on that bracket, if you see it. That's the steering that I mounted to the frame here. Alright, so I had to make a key. Starting to rain again. So apparently that belt isn't the right size. That sucks. Maybe I can find one that fits. Let's look. Let's see if I can find one. Alright guys. The reason this video is taking so long is because my back is screwed up. And it's extremely hot out here and I'm having a hard time getting the parts together. But I'm going to do a little bit today. Try to get the clip on even though I don't have the right size reverse pliers or whatever the hell you call those damn things to get this shit on here. I'm gonna have a hard time with this. I hate these damn clips. I mean, I know they serve their purpose, but shit. Ooh. I just got it. Hell yeah. Alright, I got the clip on the pulley down there. So, I'm just going to take a quick minute and show y'all the amazing job on the wiring system. Just started to, you know, I was like, I'm going to tear into it just a little bit and see, you know, what was going on. Because I had yanked some previously in part 1. Just to get it out of the way for like the shut off sensors and all that shit. Took all them sensors off, got all that shit out of the way, you know. But I left some of the grounds and stuff like that, some of the powers. But yeah, take a look at this. So, okay, this runs to the battery. Looks pretty good, looks pretty good. Till we get down here to this botch ass fucking Home Depot DIY. I got some house stuff and I'm gonna use it on a lawnmower shit. I mean, I understand that some folks they're just doing with what they have, and you know, I understand that. I'm the king of I'm just doing with what I have. But there's something here. There's home repair equipment and supplies, as you would say. And then there's automotive repair supplies. They're two totally different things. Used for two totally different things. Well, I mean, it's both wiring, but, you know, two totally different types of wire. All this shit's gonna do is corrode. It's no good. And plus, it could end up pulling out and grounding out on your chassis or anything of that sort, and causing a fire, burning your whole rig down. Same way with automotive. Don't use wire nuts. And funny thing is, he only taped one wire nut. Why only tape one? I mean, okay, that's the power wire, but you tape that wire nut. Well, why didn't you tape that one? that's on the same strand. Makes no sense. They could have been ground wires, but still, you don't want to. That's botch work. You can go to the hardware or the auto parts store, and you can buy a little pack of butt connectors, and just butt connector them together. And if you want to go fancy, I use butt connectors, but I mean you can get the shrink wrap and all that shit. I don't really ever fool with shrink wrap too much, but you know, I probably should. And I'm sure there's folks out there that'll be like, you need to shrink wrap it, you need to shrink wrap it. Well, I don't. So, but the correct wiring method to this would be to either use a butt connector or any other type of automotive wiring connector, joint connector, fastener, stuff of that sort. I mean, he used the correct end there. You know, it's automotive end, so. And I don't see any light switches on here, so that's a good thing. But I just wanted to show you all that. Don't do that, because whoever gets the rig after you is going to be shaking his head at the work that you did. Trust me, because I am right now. And I remember who I bought this off of. I'm not going to say any names, but I remember exactly where and when I got this and how much I paid for it. So yeah, don't let shit leave the shop. Just don't. I'm about to work on this wiring a little bit, actually. So I'm gonna get my basics set up, probably go ahead and try to get my key switch set up. That way I know exactly what I'm going to need for this and the new motor put on it. But let's get to doing some wiring. So I actually found some heat shrink tubing in my van, and I'm actually going to use it. So I just did something I said I wasn't going to do. But we're going to hook up the, I think I've already got good leads for my battery. Let's see. That needs an end. So this needs an end. I need to hook all this up for my voltmeter and all that good shit. Get my key hooked up. Fuse for it. I'm gonna leave the inline fuse in there. It looks good. It don't look bad at all. So I'm gonna leave that and just kind of add to the basic existing and make my own. So let's start making us a wiring harness. Alright, so we got our ends done, and now what we're going to do is we're going to put this back in the dash. I need to cut some heat shrink. Hoping that would come out a little better than that, but it is what it is. still gonna work. Alright. Let's get our ends installed. Onto the end of the wires. Let's get our crimpers. Crimp those wires down. Let's run it up into here. The only thing I don't like about these crimpers is that. Otherwise, these sumbitches are great. Cut chain link fence with these. Okay. That one's done. Let's slide our heat shrink over top. It'll go. It's because of how I pulled it. Yep. Damn it. There we go. Now, let's be smart about this. Get this ready before we jam the other one in there. And clamp it down. Okay. Pull that shit off. Heat shrunk. So all that That's good. To actually run that. I'm gonna cut the camera, take a break, get back to it. Let me get some light for y'all. I ran a basic 3-wire switch, lawnmower ignition switch, and this would probably be for like a snapper, any basic mower that has this kind of design. Just a basic, not even a tractor as much as just a lawnmower. Let me make sure my dog's still in the fence. Good boy. He's a good boy. Yeah, he's still in the fence. But yeah, basic 3-wire. Here we have our I'm trying to think of the name for it. I always go blank on camera. I don't know what the hell it is, but I can't think of what I need to say. I could say it perfectly until I turn the camera on. Dumbass. Solenoid. I knew it was something. I kept thinking stator. It's not the damn stator, it's a solenoid. The stator's inside the engine there, under the flywheel. So we got our solenoid. Now that I've had my blonde moment, we can actually go on with this. Solenoid, we have our battery wire going to our battery. We have our ground back there, so we have a way to hook up a battery in the back. I just have to fix that connector for the positive side because it's a little janky. I'll actually show you. That's another fine piece of work that they did. You can see all the broken strands, but they just had a little left over and they just clamped that on there. So yeah, that's great. That's a great connection. I'm gonna fix that. I gotta add an end here, but we have our charging wire, which I did an orange because I'm using wire off of wiring harnesses that I pulled off tractors previously and new connectors. So this is charging wire, and I haven't hooked it up yet because I'm not going to hook up charging to this engine, but I'm going to hook it up to the 670. We have our solenoid wire that goes to the tab on the bottom of your solenoid. That runs up to the ignition. Then we have our battery wire. Now our battery wire goes in here to the battery side of the solenoid. Okay, it runs up into the fuse, down out of the fuse. Then it runs up into my amperage meter there, and back down through it. So there's a clean circuit running through here, and it's going to show how much power I've got here. Then it's running straight to my ignition switch as a battery. So we got battery, which is running to the battery. We have our wire that goes straight to the solenoid, which is in there and goes down to there. I already got it hooked up. I already got the battery hooked up. And the only wire that we're going to leave unhooked is the stator wire, which is the charging wire. That will be hooked up when we put the 670 on here. But other than that, I'm about to fix this end, fix that end, and cut this shit out of here, and this thing is ready and has a wiring system done. It's simple, it's easy. I will have a separate switch for a kill switch. I'm pretty sure I have one to put in, and yeah, that's gonna be it. So I do got to put my kill switch in. I don't know why these ignition switches don't come with one, but I guess it was rigged up on that tractor to have a kill. You would think it would kill from the ignition, but it's not going to if it don't ground out the wire going to the coil. If it don't ground out that coil, it ain't gonna kill it. So I'm gonna run a separate on-off toggle for that, like I did on the dragster. But yeah, I'm gonna get to fixing these couple of mishaps from the previous owner, and Ryan will be ready. Alright, just finished with my wiring. It's a very basic setup, and I got it all shielded, the wire conduit, and I got my switch in for my kill switch. Key switch is wired up. I got my battery box back in. Got wire conduit, new end, wire conduit, new end and wire conduit. So I kept the original battery running to the solenoid. I kept the original ground because they were good, and I kept the original solenoid running to the starter. Just added a new end. I added a new end on the positive on the battery too. Left the fuse and tapped into my amp meter, ran it to my starter. I have, then that is power to the starter, or to the ignition. Then I have a kill switch, or a charging wire right here, for the battery. And then we have our wire that runs from the ignition to the coil, or the solenoid. Sorry about that, solenoid. Then I have this. The only two wires that are disconnected right now are the one that runs from the charge to the charging, and to the kill switch. Because I'm not going to hook that up. I'm just going to choke it or pull the spark plug wire until I put the new engine on. But I do have the kill running to a ground. So, but everything's pretty basic. It's wired up. It looks pretty good and a lot neater than what was in here. So, with that being done and said, I'm going to move on to doing a couple other odds and ends that need to be done before I do ride it, like put hood pins and shit in like that, but I'm not going to show that on camera. All I'm going to do is I'll just show y'all when I'm done. So I'm going to actually stick some hood pins in. That way my hood will stay down when I'm riding. And yeah, so I'm gonna slide them pins in, and we'll get back on the camera and show you what they look like. Alright, so I know I said I was gonna do hood pins, but scratch the hood pins idea right now. I'm gonna do that later off camera. Right now I'm gonna focus on getting the engine running. So I need to pull the bolt out of the bottom of the carburetor because it's got that little safety shut off shit. I'm gonna cut it off and disconnect it. That way it's not hooked up to this engine, because I don't want it on any of my engines. I did off camera go ahead and I found a can of primer that I had, and I primed up all my weld areas so they won't rust any more than they already was. But this part of the bumper was rusty anyway. It was some shit that I had that I used. I think it looks fine, at least for now. Later on I'll get some black to go over that and black out the bumper and everything, and it'll look a lot better. But for now I just did that to keep it from rusting. I did get the gas tank back in it. Everything's situated. I know I said I wasn't going to do wiring, but like I said, I'm going to end up needing it, because I don't want to jump it from the starter. I mean, I can, but I don't want to. I'd rather just either put a battery in this or hook a set of jump cables up to it and start it from the key. See how the everything works. But yeah, other than that, everything is looking pretty good. Like I said, I got the gas tank back in it. I just need to run some line connected to this to here, and I gotta go get some gas. Like I said, I've got to take this out the carburetor and do the removing of the bullshit, and then put some fuel in this thing and see if it'll fire up. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to doing a couple more things off camera, and then we'll be getting ready to get this thing to run. About to pull the valve here. Has this one already been cut? Yeah, it has. It has been cut. Let's look in this carb real quick. Don't look dirty at all. If anything, it looks pretty clean. Okay, well, but when everything goes back on, the solenoid is disconnected though. So I was looking through parts to get the fuel system together and everything, and I actually found a few parts I could use for some customizations on this. Quick, you know, make little things a little better for me. So here we got a grip for my throttle. Nice foot grip to go over it. My feet will grip too really good. I also was able to extend the shifter. And the reason I have this grip over it is because that's threaded rod here. And I just screwed on an adapter, screwed on the threaded rods and tightened it together into each other, and then added the ball up here. So that's my shifter, a lot higher. And yeah, that's about it. I want to find something a little better for the clutch pedal than what I got here, but for now this will work. I'm about to find a fuel filter. We got our fuel filter in hand. I'm going to go ahead and slide everything into place. So now we have a fuel line running from the gas tank. And now we're going to fill her up with some fuel. Alright. So we have a little bit of fuel. And it is registering that it has fuel in the filter there. So good signs, good signs. What I'm probably about to do is I'm gonna go pull the battery off of my lawnmower, and we'll bring it up here and put it on the beast and see if we can't get this thing to fire off. So let's try that. Alright, after a couple of busted fingers later, I've got the battery from my tractor, my yard lawnmower, in here, and it's a hot battery. So we're about to test the key switch and see if it does what I need it to do. Well, it runs. It runs. It's another day. My buddy's actually on his way down here from Conyers, one I used to have the old shop with. He's coming down to hang out with me for the weekend, and we're gonna fuck around with this guy. So I'm going to continue to get this thing ready to ride. I know this video is long as shit, but we're gonna get this thing ready. It's probably gonna be about a, I don't know, 2-hour long video. I might cut it into 2 parts. I don't know yet. It's a lot to think about, but I got to get the belt system right, which requires me to do the front pulley, get it spaced right, get it on there, get the right belt size and get it on there, and then that'll be done. I need to hook up the kill wire for the kill switch, and I am going to do that on this. I wasn't, but I am. I got to mod the exhaust just a little bit somehow. I got to get this bolt out here and get it drilled out for the steering, air up the tires, get the engine running right. And then we will actually be ready to ride this thing for the first time since I built it a year and a half ago, maybe. I'm not sure exactly when I started building this, but I have a picture of this unit before I even touched it. So when I first bought it, and I think I'd already pulled the engine off, because I bought this tractor for the engine for the red one down there, 14.5. So let's get to it and get this damn thing going.
You don't have the throttle hooked up yet, but
there it is. There it is. She's a runner. So I redid my exhaust there to kind of route it out. I really want to get something longer, but I don't have any welding wire right now. I did hook up a kill switch. I have confirmed that it does work. Kill switch works. I should be ready to ride this thing here soon. Now all I gotta do is figure out the belting system, and we're ready to ride. Setting up a little bit of the belt system here, and then get the helmet cam on. Something's not right with the front end.
this front tire
It's leaning.
Yeah.
It already went flat. Almost looks like something may have bent.
Yeah.
God, this bowed out like a son of a bitch.
2 P's in park.
Man, fuck, I wanted these out in the street. It's fucking bullshit. This thing's so goddamn fast. It's ridiculous.
It looks like that bolt out there. There's that bolt on the... See how that one bowed the fuck out?
Yeah.
Unless these arms are starting to bend when you ride. Like when you try and turn, they might not be sturdy enough.
Well, they don't look like they bent.
Okay.
So that's why I'm like, what the hell? I need a tie rod in the front. I need to run something that comes out and connects both wheels together to keep it straight.
Yep.
But it'll flex and turn.
Yep.
Cause look at that. It didn't even turn that fucking first wheel before it started turning the second. Shit. Alright, so mishap from yesterday. We fucked the front end up, of course. And now we are fixing it. Damn, that didn't bend like I wanted it to either. Fuck. Well, actually, that might be good. Because if I can get that tab straight and bring the other one down just like it, it would bring that bar down just a hair. A little lower under this. That way I can run my fucking ratchet strap to keep the fucking front end from bending in. Redneck death trap from hell. It's not bad. Just spit on my boot. Alright, so I think we got a pretty good plan here. Fucking bar from there to there that pivots. That should keep her straight. I'm honestly thinking, though, that one of the reasons that this thing is bending back so far is because it don't have that bar there. Because it's allowing it to have that movement to go back. Because otherwise, these steering bars should actually keep it pretty straight.
Yeah.
Because they're solid. The bends in them that you see are factory bends.
Yeah.
All I did was cut out and add in some length to extend them, but it's the same diameter,
right,
thickness of rod. So I really think with this bar up here going across, it should help it not to bend backwards.
Yeah.
But also, I still think we need to add some fucking stabilizers in here, maybe some flat bar coming up from the bottom of the front end up here at the top of the frame. Maybe to the old part where the old front end bolted in, because that's pretty sturdy right in there. And that way it won't bend backwards anymore.
If you're gonna make this out of a trail ride, you've got to have it front end stabilized.
I know. If I'm gonna do a rock crawling and stuff like that, all it would take was to start hitting shit at a decent speed, and it's gonna start bending it.
Well, if you hit a rock wrong,
yeah, it's gonna cave the whole front end in.
Yeah,
it's gonna be done.
It's gonna break.
I'm gonna be getting towed off the trail.
Yeah.
I know. There ain't gonna be no trail fix on that one.
Yeah.
I know. That's the problem.
Unless you have it down. Unless you go mount your fucking welder up here to where.
Don't doubt me. A mobile welding tractor. You know? I've seen people carry crazier out on the trails.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so both the tabs are bent down, and I'm ready to add a stabilizing pivot bar in there. I'm going to drill it out on each side and run it through. So should draw them wheels together, keep her straight. And then we're gonna go take this damn thing out and ride it today, and we're gonna see how fast it is. So here's the steering rod setup that we come up with. It's just a rod that goes straight over to this side, and this side is adjustable. This side just pivots with a bolt, and it allows my steering to stay straight. I didn't max it out on each side. It actually turns further than that, but point being, That works for the steering. I have ridden it. It does work. So all we have to do is add the stabilizing bars going from down there to up top, and we have a stable front end. Works like a charm. You wanna ride it?
Or anyway, I don't fucking know, man.
Alright, now I've noticed something about this thing. Once you go to fucking shift and you want to shift into a higher gear, If you'll clutch, you'll still roll because there's no fucking brakes. And you'll just go into the next gear. But I'm telling you, there's no fucking brakes.
Yeah, I ain't worried about it. Ah, shit.
No, that's off.
Oh, that's off.
Yeah, that's on.
Okay. Back in first, right?
Yeah. He is roasting that shit. Well, I'm sorry for the long video, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. I feel like this was one of my best ones. It's one of my best builds. There's still a lot of bugs need to be worked out on this thing. Like it said at the first of the video, this was only supposed to be done for a test of this engine to get it running right to put it back on my lawnmower. And then I decided since I was going to put the engine on there, I might as well go ahead and use it to kind of test everything else. I still got supports to add. I still got shit to beef up. I still got to add a support for the transaxle all the way down. I want to add some skid plating and quite a bit of stuff. But like I said, it was a test. I think it was a good test. We really had a lot of fun, especially riding this thing, because we rode it a lot off camera. And it has held up every bit of the way. It's pretty good. So far so good. But yeah, you know, like I said, it needs a lot of work, but great start. Here soon we'll be putting a 22 horse 670 V-twin on this unit and seeing how it actually is with that, because this one is stupid fast. So and next time I'll actually probably get a app for speedometer and check the speed. But as you see, we actually even got the dragster out and started riding around the yard and stuff. So me and Randy had a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go down there and give it a like. Comment down below if you have any questions or just want to say something. Check out the Facebook, Instagram, and the Snapchat. And until then, we will see you guys on the next episode.